Coffee? Please. At least there are none of them in here. None of who? Mammals. Haven't you noticed the town's full of mammals? Who knows where they're coming from? I don't like it. Have you asked them? I've never met a mammal. Trust me, you don't want to. And you'd never get a straight answer anyway. Straight answer or not, they'd know more about it than I do. Now I have tables, so let me know if you want anything. Self-reliant. What? Self-reliant. That's what we are. We crawl through the eggshell, and off we go, alone in the world and off to make our own way. That's where we get our rugged individualism. Mammals, do you know how they grow up? No, I don't. It's pretty freaky. The mother carries the fetus around in her colon until it's practically full grown before it's expelled. You mean like a bowel movement? It's one hole or the other, I'm not sure, but that's not the point. What is the point? Even after that, the baby clings to the mother like a burr. It does nothing for itself. And do you know what it eats? No. It sucks milk, unpasteurized and everything, right out of the mother. Like some kind of parasite? Exactly. What's bred in the bone. Mammals grow up accustomed to being coddled. They have an insatiable need for social services. Your tax dollars will be drained off to nurture a bunch of needy, shiftless mammals. I don't pay taxes. Awful House is strictly cash under the table. Since you don't make shit anyway, that's not important. It's the principle of the thing. Don't you see? These mammals have come here to suck on the public teat. How can I get a library card? All we need is a form of ID, something that shows your address. It's temporary, so it's just cardboard. It's not laminated. That doesn't matter. It's official. Since you're applying for a card, I gather you're new in town? I am. I had to flee my home continent. Oh my, what happened? An enormous meteor crashed down and there was this huge explosion, and our entire continent sank into the ocean. Why would a meteor crash cause your continent to sink? I don't know. I'm not a fucking geologist. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. Here you go. Ready to go? Oh yes, lunch. I'm sorry, sweetie, I can't. I have a patron. Good for you. But I don't see anybody. He's in the stack, so you can't see him. He's short, on all fours. If it's Simon, make sure he doesn't bring National Geographics into the bathroom. I'll never let that happen again. No, this is somebody new. He's a mammal. Yeah, a bunch of them have come into town. And already one of them's come in here. Don't you see? This could change everything. You listen and you're sympathetic, but you don't know what it's like, sitting here all day, every day alone. I feel so useless. I sit here staring out the window, watching other dinosaurs go by. Busy dinosaurs, dinosaurs with a purpose. You provide an important public service. Just because the public doesn't avail itself of what's here doesn't make it pointless. We don't have to let all these mammals settle here. Our ancestors came to this valley, and they said, this is a fertile land, and we will thrive. We will rule over all this land, and we will call it this land. That never happened, and if you keep it up, you'll be hearing from Joss Whedon's attorneys. Still, this is a dinosaur town, and it should stay a dinosaur town. Do these mammals even have passports? They don't need passports to travel within the country, and we have no legal means of keeping them out. Then we should start our own country and put up a big fence. So if you don't like how things are going, you can pull out and form your own country? Why hasn't anybody thought of that before? Actually, it's already been tried and it didn't work out so well. Now, you've suggested this many, many times before, and I've looked into it. It turns out the government doesn't just make rules, but they're also responsible for highways, bridges, the electrical grid, and a lot besides. If we can't secede, then we'll remove ourselves. We shall proceed into the wilderness, and there we'll found a new city, a righteous city, and there we shall abide. Wilderness? If you wanted to camp, go right ahead. As for me, I prefer to do my abiding under a roof, with running water and electricity. Then we shall build anew. We shall put up our dwellings and our public buildings, and a great temple to wash the Creator. You keep saying we, but who's going to do all this building? Almost none of us even have arms. And here we go. Just because I have arms, I'm supposed to do everything. Pour coffee, build temples. Look at these things. Maybe they're vestigial, maybe they're just a cruel joke, but in any case they're good for nothing. Settle down, nobody's abandoning the town. Oh, hello. I met one of your friends earlier, the tiger. There is more than one of them, and we don't all know each other. Sorry, that was stupid of me. Do you happen to know this tiger? He goes by the name of Roger, and he has a broken off left canine. I do, and now I'm the one who's sorry. I don't mean to be defensive, but the move's been difficult. I know some in town may not be so welcoming, but that shouldn't put you off. No one's been welcoming, but we'd settle for cold and standoffish. We don't need any help from any of you. Even so, that Triceratops is a real asshole. Oh, he is. I could tell you stories. I don't really care to hear them. Of course. I was asking Roger about some of what you've gone through, and he got upset. I wasn't trying to pry or seem suspicious, but... You've said this much. Go ahead, spit it out. Well, he said that your continent was struck by a huge meteor, and then it sank into the ocean, but that didn't make a lot of sense. It's true. Our continent was struck by a meteor, and the explosion and the appalling ice age that followed killed off most of us. Those who did survive had to find anything buoyant to evacuate when the whole continent sank into the sea. The two catastrophes weren't causally connected. We're just having a terrible, terrible year. I knew there was some explanation. Please forgive Roger. Constant agony from his tooth makes him short-tempered. And again, that fucking Triceratops is just such an asshole. No problem. In fact, I'd like us to be friends. That's probably not going to happen, but you've been much kinder than any dinosaur so far. So we're not having a fish fry? Of course not. We're pretending to hold a welcome to town fish fry and harmonica recital, but we're really here for an anti-immigration, anti-mammal rally. Well, I'm relieved there'll be no playing of the harmonica, but we've been here for a long time and I'm hungry. Why didn't you eat before you came? I thought I was coming to a fish fry. Why would I eat first? What kind of self-respecting Allosaurus eats haddock anyway? Stop whining. This thing was supposed to start hours ago. You can disperse. Nobody's coming. What? Why not? Where are they? You've been pretty outspoken, many would say vituperative, about how you view these mammals. When they heard that you've organized a reception to welcome them, they could scent what was in the wind and they had the good sense to stay far, far away. They're not coming? That's it. I'm bored and I'm going home. You're not going anywhere. If they won't come to us, we'll go to them. Which way is their ghetto? They had the choice to live anywhere they please, so they're scattered all over. Then we'll head house to house if it takes all night. You'll do nothing of the kind. You have a constitutional right to assemble but not to riot, and you're not going to mob these refugees in their homes. You've gone beyond just being an asshole into outright criminality, and if you and your shithead followers don't disperse right away, I'm going to drag you off to jail by the tail. You can't do that. As volunteer sheriff, I can. I wanted to go home anyway. I'm leaving so you don't have to pull me by the tail. That makes you feel big, does it? Scaring other dinosaurs. Listen, Simon, about what happened last night. There's nothing to say. You acted like a dick and I accept your apology. I didn't and I don't, but you're being strangely magnanimous. What's going on? Our rights are being trampled. That's what's going on. We've been through this. You can't intimidate these newcomers into leaving. I'm not talking about those fucking mammals. I'm talking about something important. I see. There's nothing you can do to them without hurting yourself, so you found something new to fulminate about. We can't serve drinks after 2 now. You never could. You didn't know about last call? Last call? That's such bullshit. The government wants to tell us when we can or can't drink. They feel that you shouldn't drink around the clock and should give your livers a short respite before diving back in. Don't you shut down at 2? No, I keep pouring until everybody's passed out or wanders off. Then I head off to bed myself. I come back the next morning and wake 'em up for the breakfast buffet. It's pretty good. They have eggs and everything. That sounds like a wonderful way to start the middle of your day, but I usually stick to coffee and food that isn't prepared in here. Aren't you going to do anything about this? No, I don't think I will. And since you're not presently breaking any laws, I'll leave you to it.